Tall, bulky, and serious. When you see guys like these, all dressed in black, you'd probably think they're bodyguards. And you're probably right. If you see these guys, there's a good chance that someone famous or influential is close by. In today's video, we'll check out the world's top 10 most protected people. Number 1. Vladimir Putin, most protected president. The world's most robust security strategy can be seen in Vladimir Putin's men. As one of the most influential leaders in the world, the Russian president is also in charge of the most sophisticated nuclear arsenal. With an elite security team and the nation's military always on duty to protect Putin, people would have trouble even getting close to the guy. This is how the president has kept out safe for so long. It's rumored that Putin has more than 3,000 bodyguards who travel in armored vehicles and a specialized special division that gathers data on potential threats. And since there's no public information about his protection detail, we can't even be sure about the extent of security Putin has. Number 2. Kim Jong-Un, most protected dictator. North Korea's leader and president, Kim Jong-Un, is protected alright by more or less 120,000 trained soldiers. And this is in addition to a security team that travels with him everywhere. Dubbed the Supreme Guard Command, they are in charge of looking out for the ruler of North Korea. The selection process is meticulous, and according to Lee Yong-kook, a defector, high school students are inspected by guard recruiters. They'll check if a student has a proportioned body and no facial scars. The candidates' family histories are also examined for party allegiance and good songbun or caste. Yes, in this day and age, the North Koreans still adopt a caste system. Anyway, back to the selection process. After a student is selected, all records are destroyed and family communication is prohibited. They are then issued an ID number. Each family only has one member to serve as a bodyguard. The recruits will undergo 2 years of training. They must complete taekwondo lessons, marksmanship drills, 25-kilometer marches in full gear, and special ops tactics. And according to another defector and former member of the security department, the Supreme Guard Command produced a 300-page instruction manual outlining prior security problems. Number 3. Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, most guarded inmate. Joaquin Guzman, or famously known as El Chapo, is a former Sinaloa cartel boss. We won't delve too much into his life, but we can say that he was convicted of all 17 charges brought upon him. He's known as prisoner 89914-053 in ADX Florence or Alcatraz of the Rockies, the most secure US Supermax prison. A Supermax prison has the highest security and typically houses dangerous convicts. Inmates rarely leave their cells, do little, and rarely interact with others. Alcatraz is known to be among the earliest Supermax model. For about 23 hours a day, offenders are locked in soundproof 7x12 foot cells. Each cell has a concrete bunk, desk, stool, shelf, steel sink, and toilet. Most cells have TVs. ADX has motion detectors, cameras, and 1,400 remote-controlled steel doors covering the facility. The control center monitors inmates around the clock, and guards can press a panic button to close all doors if an escape attempt is suspected. Pressure pads and 12-foot razor wire fences encircle the heavily armed perimeter. This prison, much like Alcatraz, is deemed inescapable, which says a lot, considering El Chapo already made 2 successful escape attempts from Mexican prisons. There are 6 security levels: General Population Units, Special Housing Unit, Special Security Unit, Control Unit, Intermediate or Transitional Units, and Range 13. The Control Unit contains convicts from other prisons with major behavior infractions or violent offenses. It also holds prison gang leaders. The Special Security Unit contains inmates with Special Administrative Measures or Department of Justice designated terror groups. Range 13 is a 4-cell special housing unit wing for the most controlled inmates. Thomas Silverstein and Ramzi Youssef were this specialized unit's only publicly known detainees. Number 4. Pope Francis, most protected religious leader. All around the world, religious leaders are admired and revered. Concerning the Catholic Pope, there probably isn't a more protected spiritual leader. Pope Francis lives in Vatican City, one of the world's most strongly protected cities. His first line of defense is the Pontifical Swiss Guard, an armed security force that has been around for more than 500 years. It was founded on a papal order from Pope Julius II. The Swiss Guard uses some of the most cutting-edge weaponry available. They are committed to keeping Pope Francis safe at all costs. Number 5. Xi Jinping, most protected politician. China's most protected man, Xi Jinping, is guarded by the Central Security Bureau. This guard unit is very discreet and offers world-class security for its paramount leader. Xi Jinping has spent the past decade expanding China's definition of national security to strengthen the party's grip against perceived outside dangers that could exploit domestic weakness. He has expanded, centralized, and emboldened a persuasive security apparatus into a fortress that shields him and makes him the most powerful leader since Deng Xiaoping and Mao Zedong. Xi has created a comprehensive strategy for a world he believes is out to defeat China politically, economically, socially, militarily, and technologically. By the way, make sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking the red button. Click the notification bell so you'd be notified whenever we release a new video. Number 6. Mark Zuckerberg, most protected CEO. The Facebook founder revolutionized social media, but he also has many critics, and Meta's annual security allowance for Mark Zuckerberg increases significantly. According to an SEC filing, Zuckerberg's pre-tax security allowance was raised to $14 million from an already jaw-dropping $10 million. Even with the increase, Zuckerberg may spend more than $14 million on security this year. His 2020 and 2021 security costs exceeded $23 million and $25 million respectively. Jeff Bezos, Larry Ellison, and Elon Musk's security costs pale compared to Zuckerberg's. Number 7. King Charles, most protected sovereign leader. As the then heir to the throne, Charles' residence in Tetbury was protected by the government's stricter trespassing laws for Chequers, Downing Street, and Buckingham Palace. And when Charles became king, public walkways near the property were removed for his protection. Since 1991, civilian airplanes have been banned from flying over the property, and a massive stone wall surrounds it. And if the king and his wife need it, their residence has a secret panic room. The safe space may hold food, medicines, or possibly even blood supplies. King Charles also inherited the guards that previously protected the Queen. Number 8. Floyd Mayweather Jr., most protected athlete. Floyd Mayweather's entourage and 30 security officers shocked shoppers in a retail center. The American boxer, known as Money, stood out on an Arizona shopping trip despite covering his head. An astonished mall-goer recorded the retired boxer wearing a gold Adidas hoodie and matching pants, which failed to hide the star. A wall of 30 security guards, alongside 3 uniformed police officers, were in front of Mayweather. The staggering number of people doesn't even include the entourage accompanying the famed boxer. Number 9. Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud, most protected crown prince. Saudi Arabia's crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman, controls the world's largest oil reserves and the wealthiest people. As the Minister of Defense, Salman spent over $20 billion on military equipment alone. The prince is known for allegedly assassinating everyone who opposes his government and for his luxurious residences, sports cars, exotic pets, and other expensive items. A U.S. district judge dismissed a lawsuit against the crown prince for his alleged role in the death of writer Jamal Khashoggi because Salman is entitled to state immunity. Salman was declared prime minister by his father, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, in late September 2022, days before a deadline to determine his immunity. And because of Saudi Arabia's lengthy history of enemies, the Crown Prince is one of the world's most well-protected people, possibly even more than his father. Number 10. Beyonce and Jay-Z, most protected celebrity couple. It's been reported that power couple Beyonce and Jay-Z spent about $88 million on security. After Beyonce was hauled off stage in 2013, Jay-Z hired 5 ex-intelligence operatives to protect her. In 2014, British media said they hired 500 security guards for their On the Run tour to safeguard themselves in Blue Ivy. They also had 16 bodyguards guarding them 24/7. The couple also had a 40-man support group when they were performing. They ensured they have 300 personal crowd security and 50 people are dedicated to preventing stage jumps or invasions. They spent $4 million on employees and 2 military-grade bomb-proof vehicles. Bodyguards, a necessity for the rich and famous. See you in our next video, and always remember, Invictus Luxury, for people who want more.